Peter Calloway sat across from three people who held his future. One of them held a newspaper clipping, yellow at the edges, sharp as a blade. The job he had spent 7 years climbing toward was gone in 60 seconds. The article he had written had found its way home. What happened before that clipping landed on the table is a story about a man who believed his words were too clever to catch him. Before any of this, Peter was 23, working at the Millbrook Gazette, a small paper in a small town where not much happened. He rented a room above a hardware store. He ate most of his dinners at a counter downtown. His father had been a factory worker who read only the sports section. Peter wanted to write things that made people like his father look up. He was polite, ambitious, a little lonely, the kind of young person who mistakes being noticed for being valued. He was gifted with language. Everyone said so. He could make a county fair read like a world event. But talent doesn't get you noticed when you're writing about pie contests and school board meetings, and Peter was tired of being invisible. He wanted his name in the bigger papers, the kind people in cities read over morning coffee, the kind that changed things. When a tip came in about the principal of Millbrook High, rumors of missing money, unexplained accounts, Peter sought his chance. He dug for 3 weeks. The evidence was thin. No witness would go on record. No document proved a thing. He had an outline, a theory, a strong suspicion, but he didn't have a story strong enough to print. At 2 a.m, deadline hours away, Peter typed a sentence that changed everything. A second source within the school administration confirmed the discrepancies. His finger paused over the period key for half a second, just half a second, and then he pressed it. There was no second source. There was only Peter and the lie he pressed into the page. The article ran the next day with his name at the top, and it traveled fast through a town hungry for a scandal. The article ran on a Thursday. By Friday, Principal Harlan Gentry, a quiet man who had run that school for 19 years, was on paid leave. By the following month, he had resigned. Not because he was guilty. Because the accusation alone was enough. The school board didn't need proof. They needed the story to disappear, and Harlan Gentry was the easiest way to make it disappear. Nobody asked for the second source. Nobody checked. The article had been printed, and that was enough. His wife left him before the year was out. His daughter, Catherine, watched him shrink from the man who had taught her to stand up straight. Peter, meanwhile, won the Hargrove Award for Young Journalism. A city paper hired him within the year. He climbed from their feature writer, then senior correspondent. At 30, he became a finalist for editor-in-chief of the Cromwell Herald, one of the state's most respected papers. He had everything he had wanted since he was 23 and invisible above the hardware store. What Peter didn't know was that Catherine Gentry had spent those 7 years working quietly in media relations. She had never stopped investigating the article that destroyed her father. She found the school financial records, clean and complete. She found Peter's original notes, which showed only one source. She found the empty space where a second source should have been. She made one phone call to the Cromwell Herald and asked to join the hiring committee's final round. Catherine Gentry sat on that committee, and when Peter walked in, she saw a confident man with a strong record and an easy smile. She let him finish his presentation. Then she placed the yellowed clipping on the table. His name was still at the top. Beside it sat the record showing no second source had ever existed. Peter looked at the clipping. He looked at her. He understood. His mouth opened, but no explanation came. There was nothing he could say that the clipping did not already say for him. The article had never stopped existing. It had been waiting, patient as a seed underground, for the moment the rain would come. The room was silent. The circle was complete. Here is what the story holds: a lie you put into the world does not fade. It sits in archives and databases, and the lives of the people it harmed, people who woke to find their world rearranged by words that weren't true. The same gift that let Peter write something so convincing would be used by others to write about what he had done. Any of us might face a moment where a shortcut seems small, where one bent fact feels like the price of getting where we deserve to go. But a shortcut built on someone else's pain is not a shortcut. It is a road to a place you cannot walk back from, and it always leads you there in the end. The article he wrote is still there, in a filing cabinet, in a digital archive, in the quiet of Catherine Gentry's memory. Words do not vanish. They wait patient and exact for the moment when the circle completes itself.